maybe, hey, how about this? Put a personal guarantee. I don't know what to tell you. Make it a loan that's Make it a loan that's forgivable. But I could go a whole bunch of places that we're just going to hit a break. Government financing, all that. We could talk hours on that. But we know there's a better way to do it. We know there's at least an interest in Baton Rouge to want to try to do it. And that's something we can all wrap our arms around and be grateful for. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Guys, if you're looking for a dealership that actually puts people first, man, go visit my friends at Giles Subaru in Lafayette. Make it your next stop at Giles Subaru Customer Service. It's not just a promise. It's how they do business every single day. From the moment you walk in, their team is focused on making your experience easy, comfortable, completely stress-free. Giles Subaru. And here's something you won't find just anywhere. Giles Subaru, you heard me talk about it. Yep, you might have heard Bob talk about it. But there is an on-site dog park. Bring your pup along while you shop or wait for service. It's just one more way they go the extra mile for their customers. Oh, by the way, cute. Speaking of service, their service department, top notch.
Yeah, I think they even have a custom and specialty tool room.
That's wild. That's right. I forgot about that. That is, yeah, man. Go check them out. Look, Giles Subaru delivers a better experience from start to finish. Visit Giles Subaru off of Johnson Street here in Lafayette, or go online at gilessubaru.com. You know, they have fun at Giles Subaru, but we have fun too. We have fun here too, and it's Friday, and we missed it last week. But it is JJ, WJ, Just Joking with Janet. What's up, Janet?
Hey, it's Friday.
We don't have the camera.
Friday. It's okay.
You going to festival?
I might, yes. It'll be my first time.
Ever?
I've never been to the Crawfish Festival. I have never.
Well, you from St. Martin. How did you know? I thought that was like when you're born and you're from, or if you even live in St. Martin. I thought it was like requirement. You go to the Crawfish Festival.
I thought
which
so too.
Is beautiful. I love the infrastructure that those guys, like, just the fence and stuff. I mean, I know they did that a while back, but I thought it was a good move, and it just enhanced maybe safety and order. But I go to it. But Festival International is this weekend. It's already going on. It's going on right now, downtown Lafayette. Go check them out. So Janet, wow, okay. Tell me about it. Tell me all your experience.
I will.
And then tell me the time of day you experienced it and where. All right, give us a joke. Put a little smile on our face, Janet.
Okay, a friend of mine is struggling with a serious addiction, stealing seabirds. He was getting better, but he's recently taken a turn.
Oh, my gosh. I love it. Kill switch. That was Janet just for you. By the way, I hadn't heard back. Thanks, Janet. And thanks for keeping us in line. Don't lose your keyless entry, whatever that card is. It'll get you. Hey, see? All right. Hey, guys, go check us out at rumble.com. That's Real Shy. K-Stacy03. It's quiet. That's okay, though. We love your chats over there. Go check us out at rumble.com. There you go. I see you. We have a little fun over there. Man, speaking of fun, I think they're having some fun in the legislature right now. Q Diggy?
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, it's, let's go to, Brett Guyman. I think he's pushing the energy lawsuit, right? I thought I read Brett's name. It would make sense. He's been very much a friend of the industry. Really good guy, too. He's in Southwest Louisiana, Calcasieu area. And he's been pretty consistent on these, I'm going to say legacy lawsuits. This is not one of them. Well, it could be. I'm just going to report. I'm going to tell you what's up. So I think this one probably falls in line with some Louisiana politics. Classic, okay? Bill Maher will say that. Republican, classic. Well, I'm saying Louisiana politics, classic. Now we could say Democrat classic, because I think Bill Maher might fall in one of those categories. I think him and Fetterman, still Democrat for sure. But anywho. So there's a bill in our legislature down the street in Baton Rouge moving through that would make it much harder to sue energy companies over climate-related damages. Okay? So some say that this is a shot across the bow at the trial lawyer industry. I don't know. I know we have some trial lawyers listening. Y'all call in, 232-1542. Only trial lawyers. I have a lot of friends that are good friends that are trial lawyers. We just, hey, everybody's in it. So, yeah, but some say this is straight up like a staring contest right now. The bill basically raises the bar pretty high. If a parish, this is what the bill says, if a parish or the state, if the parish or the state wants to sue an energy company, they got to do a few things first. Under this bill, they'd have to get approval from the governor. They'd have to get approval from the attorney general and legislative committees. Now, I didn't see which ones, just took a note, but that's quite a process. And I started, when I first heard it, I was thinking, well, does that ever, does that bypass any kind of like separation of powers or anything like that? Or does it, is that can the legislature put that requirement? And, legislature writes the laws and they write procedure, so they can write procedural requirements, in my opinion. I like it. It's a check and balance, in my opinion. But let's keep going, because the bill, it requires other things too. So you got to get approval from the governor, from the attorney general, and from legislative committees. But they've got to identify specific emissions. So you're saying it's environment. They have to identify specific emissions. Got to be specific. They've got to prove that the company caused more than half the damage. So you can't. Can we make that across the board? That's a great one. Hey, look, now in the law, maybe, I'm going to have some lawyers fuss me on this one. This is kind of like, there you go. It's kind of like a prima facie case. So you got to put together, you got to at least show it's real, okay? This is a little bit more than that. So you got to prove that the company caused more than half the damage. So you can't just name this one company for big pockets, join them in Salido, or make them, kind of liable like the other ones. And it's 99% the fault of someone else. So in other words, there's no more fishing expeditions. That's a legal term too, especially on appeal. You'll see that. This is a fishing expedition. All right, so we'll take a tiny little break. Guys, when we get back, we'll carry this topic over so much more. Phone lines are going to be open, 232-1542. Tell me about Tops. Tell me about Festival. Tell me about us landing on the moon. I'm still there. I'm still that topic. Boy, I tell you what, though, Q, I've been thinking ever since Metcalf came in. We'll be right back.
plans to host a reciprocal trip for June
What up, my
to
streaming
Washington, D.C. later
folks?
this
Man,
year.
we appreciate you
This
guys.
report is a
Rumble.com. You can go
service of the
to
Louisiana
X,
Soybean
all the
Grain
places,
Research and
Josh, at
Promotion
Josh
Board.
Guillory USA.
Fox and the Louisiana
But
Farm
man, we
Bureau's
appreciate
Grain
you. You know, I
Marketing
know
Office.
we've been pre-recording
market's
more
looking
than
on this Friday
usual
in
lately.
April.
I just been very
Flat to
busy at the
lower
office. I
again
appreciate
today.
everybody. I love the
Closing
live
out the
shows.
week, not much
That's my. He
excitement
was shaking
to
his
give
head.
us
Yeah, we
any
both love. We
upside
love the
today.
live shows. Just
Still
love that
kinda looking at
interaction.
some
That's
rain
real
that's
chat. You
supposed
know
to move
all
across the
about it.
Midwest and see what planning
Case
progress is
Stacy
gonna look like
03.
come Monday.
I
Of
like
course,
it.
we're always keeping an eye on the Iranian
By the way,
US
not a
talks.
proponent of
What's that
everyone
gonna
going
do
to
the
college.
market?
Yes,
We saw
the
where
economy can't.
soybean oil
The
was,
economy doesn't call for that.
trading
And
higher,
all
so
you
that gave
do
a
is
good
you have.
bump
Well, I
to
mean,
the
you know
bean
what it
side
is. You
as
have
well.
you have people with
Corn got a
education they
little bit
can't
of
use.
boost
I'm not
off
going to
of
say
wheat.
overeducated because
Wheat was
people
trading
get
higher 'cause of
educated
some dryness in the
throughout their
Midwest,
life,
some concerns
formally
in
or
those
informally.
wheat-growing areas.
It's
Rallied
what you
wheat
do
and
with it.
corn followed it a little
You ever
bit,
meet anybody with a
things
PhD
seem
and
to
you
settle down
you're
today.
thinking,
It feels like the
how?
trade wants to go into the weekend and see what everything looks like come Monday
So you
morning.
got
Greg
the
Fox,
education, but
Louisiana
what do
Farm
you do
Bureau's
with it?
Marketing Office.
You know what I mean?
I'm Don
So
Molino,
same
the
thing
voice
in
of
life
Louisiana
too.
Agriculture
But
Radio
I
Network.
appreciate y'all's chats,
47
man. We'll
years. That's
stick
how
around.
long
Oh, we got
Stan's
more.
Tire and Auto has been
Oh, we got a
fixing
whole bunch
vehicles
of
in
stuff.
Acadiana.
Oh, good. Well, then
47
let's
years.
stay
They
on
have
it.
the
I
experience
hope my
in
boy
knowing how to
Robert
fix
D.
your car,
Benoit
truck,
is
or
listening
SUV,
or
AC
watching because
systems,
I sent you a
alignments, tires,
message.
suspensions,
See
brakes,
if you want to go
tune-ups,
catch a
you name it,
baseball
Stan's
game,
can do
man.
it. Stan's at 3203 Johnston Street. So go to
Check it
Stan's
out.
Tire and Auto with the best mechanics
Been
in
asking me
Acadiana. Call
how
them at
to find this.
981-5033. 981-5033.
Love
or
that guy.
online at stansautocenter.com.
All right, so we're going to
Stan's
stay on
Tire
this
and Auto,
topic,
here to
though.
help Acadiana.
Man, I don't know how you guys feel about that on the
Hi, I'm Keith
the
Kishbaugh. The team here at
requirements
Kishbaugh
of
Construction
the
works with architects,
lawsuits
engineers,
there. You know what I'm
property
saying?
owners,
So,
homeowners, and many
Joe
others.
Biden's lost memory
We
says
also
commercial audio
specialize
is
in
coming
custom
in.
home and commercial design.
How's that? There we go. Now we can hear. All right. Sorry about that. You know, I was rambling most of the time. Now I'm getting into substance. So,
But they did get an ag report, so
oh boy. Yeah. Hey, like we said, it is some interesting information. Maybe the delivery is kind of like, you know, what do we want them to be? I think they should get Smokey the Bear.
that would be cool.
Why not? First of all, you have to listen to Smokey the Bear.
I just think it would be hilarious that the Kane Farmer update and only you can prevent wildfires. I love irony, and I just think that goes.
Ooh, hey man. Ooh, I don't know if I want to open it.
I have nothing but love for the Kane Farmer.
Oh no, no, oh, yeah, of course. All right, I've heard. If there's any council members, they're going to be punching me. I've heard a lot of rumblings about the fires, the cane fields and burning and stuff. Some folks, I've heard it's been kind of heated a little bit lately. You know, some folks griping.
You know, I wouldn't be so heated about it if all the workers on the farm were Americans and weren't brought in seasonally.
Well, they're here legally, right?
Yeah, they go through a process to get them visas. They house them, they feed
Yeah.
them. When the work's done, they send them home.
What you got? What's your beef with that?
Well, all the money that's made gets sent home, and the roads still have issues.
Hey, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you should have to pay your taxes here right now. And they pay the taxes. Just okay.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, man. Broadcasting live on Rumble.com. Let me see you, our Rumble audience. Thank you for your patience there as we just didn't take a break. I love it. Hey, guys, if you've been dealing with ongoing health issues, you're not getting real answers, it might be time just to take, a little different approach. Just try it out. Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic in Lafayette specializes in functional medicine, focusing on the 3 pillars of human health to help you get to the root of what's really going on in your body. So instead of just treating symptoms, basically Dr. Kevin's approach is to combine advanced testing, data, technology, nutrition, all of that to create outcome-focused care that builds around you. None of this cookie-cut stuff. And I know that firsthand. Look, they work with patients dealing with complex conditions like autoimmune disorders, thyroid issues, POTS, taking the time to understand why their body is not functioning the way it should. So, hey, man, never a one-size-fits-all approach. You know, it's a comprehensive plan designed to help your body heal and perform at its best. Go visit my boy over there, Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic in Lafayette. 983-CARE. Can't forget that, 983-CARE. Let's go to the phone lines. 232-1542, 844-766-6607. Let's go to my buddy. 2 days in a row. How blessed am I? Justin. What's up, Justin?
Oh, not too much. So I'm kind of glad that TOPS bill, got defeated, because can you imagine, you go through high school, you take college-bound courses, you make good grades, 3.9, you get this scholarship because high school was a breeze for you. How many people high school was a breeze for them? And then you get into college and you're like, oh crap, this is hard. And it's not as much of a breeze as high school was. I mean, to penalize them just for that, I don't get it.
That's fair. See, and that's extremely fair. And I don't know what the answer is on that, but I do know we got to have some kind of accountability. That's why I like my approach. Look, we pay for your education. You got that degree. We don't want you moving to Harris County, Texas. I mean, you can, but I think it's just fair to pay the taxpayers back because we've actually funded a degree, But I hear what you're saying, and that was the pushback.
Yeah, pay the state back in being an employee in this state.
Yes, exactly. So we don't know that answer, but man, Justin, I appreciate your call. Always appreciate your thoughts, man. I think that a lot of the legislatures, I don't know if you caught that part where really the pushback, a lot of it is what Justin just said. So I don't know that answer. I'm just happy that the legislature's at least looking at it. I think the approach that me and Justin just talked about is the way, because while we may not have the solution to that gray area, we certainly have a solution for people that actually got a degree that we paid for who is leaving the state. That's tangible, more tangible. We can wrap our arms around it. So I would like for us to take that easy win first in our wonderful state. But I'm not mad at the legislators who are pushing this because I really like that. And whoever in Baton Rouge is at least trying to address the situation with TOPS, I say kudos, keep doing it. This might not have been the answer, but just the fact that we're trying is good. Refreshing. All right, Q, let's go to the phone lines. You know what it is? Nope. Caller, you're live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Eddie.
Eddie, I knew I recognized the number, but we didn't have it up on the screen. What's up, Eddie?
All right, with this TOPS thing, I understand you ought to get your degree, and you ought to work here in Louisiana for at least 4 years. But the problem with that is, with the government that's running this state right now, you don't have the opportunity to get an advanced degree and then work in this state. Why do you think they're leaving the state, Look, Moon said he had to leave the state to go to a wedding. I guarantee you his son's got an education and stuff,
That's a good point.
But they couldn't find no jobs over here. So unless you correct the job problem, the top people will leave so they can go to work. Nobody wants to stay in a state where you can't work. I'm lucky. I'm a painter. They took all our work yet, So that's all I got to say, bro, about that, and good luck with the rest of the show.
Thanks, Eddie. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, man, Eddie makes great points on that, too. Under those circumstances, though, I still say, pay it back because you're going to benefit the other state's economy, and they're going to get, rewarded for that choice. But we paid for it, so I think a year for a year is fair. But I definitely, like what Eddie's saying is real. Like, I definitely understand that for sure. For sure. All right. So, let's go back to, the TOPS topic is interesting. What is your take on all this?
Look, TOPS was a brilliant program when it was created, but the whole go to college avenue has expanded so much in the last 20 years. when I was in high school, it was basically you had to go to college or you're going to really struggle in life. The reality was a certain degree of difference to what we were told. And if you went to college and you got a STEM degree, you were going to do fine. If you went to college and maybe you got a degree in the philosophy of medieval art, look, you're going to have some great stories to tell, but you're not going to be paid telling them typically. And
it's a noble cause.
Yes, I don't think Topps should pay for the law.
No. Well, okay. I get you, but I can live with that because I wouldn't even I don't think you should restrict it to just STEM because I hear you. That was a natural flow because Topps wasn't around. So if you're going to pay the money, you're going to make it count. Okay.
Right.
But undergraduate degrees, for the most part, are really just there to tell future employers that you can take on new information, process it, manage your time effectively, and retain the information. So if you have one of those undergraduate degrees in underwater basket weaving, at least you had to take English, and you had to take math, and you had to take some other things that everybody else has to take. So, you had to learn real stuff. Not that the underwater basket weaving is, you're not less than. You're included too. That's what I feel like. I got to watch it. But yeah, so this whole top thing, and you can't deny the fact that tuition went crazy after government started to pay for it. Anybody? Yep. Hey, does anybody think that's correlated?
Yep.
Anybody think that's a rando? No.
I don't remember a semester that went by in which I did not pay more than the previous semester.
Oh, yeah. And look, I'm coming to you in good faith here as someone who literally chased football and girls in high school and did not qualify for Topps. Trust me, I love all the people that got Topps. My son, all my people, okay? Appreciate it. I'm grateful. But I'm just telling you some observations from the outside looking in. But let me tell you what that did, guys. When I got to undergraduate school here at UL, I had a little checkbook. I just got my account. I was so proud. I had a little job, And then I went to the student union, the old one. And I went and bought a used book because it was cheaper. And that dang thing was $5. That was in 2001, okay? You know what I did? I wrote that check. I was like, oh, my God. I read every freaking word in that book. I read the footnotes. I was getting my value because that was my money. But anywho, I'm grateful for that. And that's accountability. Now, I know we can't get that every Topps recipient, but we could make a step closer to that where there is some skin in the game. It's a team effort. It's the taxpayers who work hard to pay this. And in return, the recipient says, hey, I'm not going to pay you back directly. Thank you, by the way. But I'll pay you back indirectly by working in your state at whatever level. Because you got to be working too. Or, whatever. All right, guys, so stick around. We'll take a tiny little break. We'll keep up. I might go back to the Guyman bill. I think it's Brett Guyman that pushed that. I know he'd probably support that. But anyway, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Suze, I'm like, hey, man, just keep talking. I literally would say, just keep talking. Hey, guys, what's happening? So if you saw us run in here, well, you saw me at least run in here sprinting. Hey, man, miscalculated. I was in the car. I was literally in the parking lot, just hanging out. And I was like, oh, it starts at 3:06. You know, I was 3:05. I see Q running out there like,
It's a sight to see me run. Like something has to be wrong for me to start running. Something wrong, like the price of college textbooks.
yeah.
You said textbook right as we were going out, and my head
Yeah.
almost exploded. You know the latest thing, because you were talking about getting a used book, right?
You want some coffee?
I'm good.
All right.
The,
I want to hear this, but I'm getting coffee.
the latest thing is now to get past the used textbook where students are not buying new, and the companies who produce the books aren't getting paid every semester. You now have to buy the online code. There's no longer just go rent the book. For example, let's say you're taking college algebra. You're going to have to use the online software platform that comes with the book. It comes with a code. And the only way to get it is to pay full price for the book. So even if you get the used book, you still can't do the assignments now. It's such a rigged system. At least when I was in college, you could buy a used book. The students today, they pay the most in tuition, they pay the most in fees, and they pay the most for the most expensive books. It's a ridiculous system. Yes, that is a racket. I am convinced it is a conspiracy, like throughout the generations. And now you can't even get used books. You have to buy the new book so you can get the software.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they now come bundled with software codes.
Man, you know when I was a professor, I purposefully used the same book for that reason. Because I was like, why am I going to, it's going to cost them so, because the law, and all I would do is update in my notes, say, hey, we no longer have NAFTA, we have USMCA, and this is what it is. So I just updated them. Oh, anyway. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Hey, I'm going to give a special shout out to this one. All our Republican women groups. Straight up. And we are blessed here in Lafayette. We got the Florida Lee Republican women. We got the Acadiana Republican women. I know our friends in the Calcasieu area have the Southwest Republican women. I'm just grateful. I really am. Personally, love what you guys do for our party, for our community, and really just fun people to be around.
They really are.
Like fun.
And in terms of organizations that bring in community engagement, man, their outreach and their ability to reach people is incredible.
Met with as many of them as I could, as these fine ladies, while I was in office, and they still let me go around them and hang out, which is cool. They hadn't kicked me out yet. But if I ever wanted to know what was going on, I had two groups. I had the realtors, the home builders, and the mortgage lenders. For whatever reason, those three, I could always find out no matter what in the parish, all right? But the other one's these guys. And I just think that, hey, all good. I'm telling you, and honest, like, Republican women will tell you.
Yes, they will.
But we appreciate you. Appreciate you, ladies. All right, so let's go back to this bill that would basically say if you have a lawsuit that you think you want to sue a company over, you still can, but this bill would say if it's for climate-related damages, you got to go through a process here. You got to go through the governor. You got to go through the attorney general. You got to go through certain committees in the legislature. You have to show that the company actually caused more than half the damage. Now, that's the part where I just don't know. I don't know how do you limit that suit if it's less than I don't know, because we have comparative fault in Louisiana, so I don't know. That'll be ironed out. Again, even if we don't land with this, I appreciate a legislator taking the initiative to do this and try, and it's at least an effort that replicates a majority of the values and beliefs in this state, and especially in the region that particular representative represents, okay? And here too, by the way. But some people say, hey, they're going after the trial lawyers, and, I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. Maybe it'll impact them, but they're adding a process, okay? But other folks are saying, hey, we know what this is a lot of times. You're seeing a big old $100 million lawsuit. You know the company's only like 10% at fault. Well, that's a quick $10 million. And what this lawsuit is saying, and you only go after the big pockets, the deep pockets, the $10 million. So what this bill is saying, well, we're taking comparative fault, we're adding something to it. I don't know. That part, guys, comparative fault in Louisiana is every actor involved, to include the plaintiff, is assigned a percentage of fault. There's 100% fault out there, and the court's goal is to identify what percentages belong to who. The plaintiff's own fault would diminish their recovery by whatever percentage of fault they're at. So that's comparative fault. Everybody gets assigned the applicable amount of liability of the particular award. If the award's $100,000, you're at 10%. Again, it's $10,000. All right, so this says you can't even bring a lawsuit unless you show it's over 50%. So I would imagine there will be some challenges. I would imagine that this might not be the last time we see that. But I will tell you, not imagining, I am thankful, because we have got to get our legal climate under control. No one here is saying if you were harmed, you shouldn't be made whole. No one. What we're saying is the legal climate that we have created, it's just, I think, a fair observation in this regard, has scared off, I think I'm saying it nicely, scared off the oil and gas industry. I like Brett Guyman, but not to just sing his praise just to sing his praises, but he was also instrumental on lowering the severance tax. Kudos to the governor for signing it. Kudos to everybody involved in pushing it. Because that's another thing that we were fighting for in the state. There was two things, our legal climate and the severance tax. Now, we didn't get it all the way down to Texas levels, but we're like 1 or 1.5% higher now. We were like 7% or 8% higher. I think we were at 12 or whatever, and they dropped it down. So think about it. If you're an oil and gas, you're exploring, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to go make a net profit for your company, trying to, be productive, and you got two states. You have Texas and you have Louisiana. In Texas, severance tax like at 4.5, and virtually no legal concerns. That the climate's so different. You go to Louisiana for a time, you pay higher taxes and severance, and you get sued out the wazoo. So where would you dig a hole, as Congressman Higgins would say? Where would you dig a hole? When he said it like that, it clicked. So I use it. I got to give credit where credit's due, though. But yeah, so at least in our state, we did lower the severance tax. That's a great thing. Great thing for the industry. So now we have this initiative that could really, really change things. And hey, invite the trial lawyers up. Talk about it. That's why, you bring all the folks in to the table. Everybody that's an actor. And I think this bill will probably end up doing that. And, you never know. We might have some tort reform right there and don't even know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
Where would you dig a hole?
Currently?
Would you call 811? You better.
When I built a fence, I did.
Yeah.
And they came and they striped the yard.
Yes,
they put all
they're
these
fast.
little flags.
Dottie's fast. Guys, if y'all digging, my public service announcements, too easy. Call them. They're fast.
And then I think once you call them, if you hit something, it's on the company, right?
It's not on you because you got it marked. As long as you follow the markings, I would imagine. But yeah, so that's Hey, it's part of the law. So, but I'm telling you, from a legal standpoint, that would probably help you out. I would imagine. So, hey guys, look, stick around though. Man, hour one flew by. Jeez, it's Friday, by the way, all day, the whole day, and even into the night. All right, guys, stick around. Hour number 2. It's gonna be great. Q, don't go anywhere. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. And in studio with me, Q Money Magic Man. What up, Q?
Oh, another lovely day in Lafayette, Louisiana.
It is, man. It is, guys. Hey, welcome to hour number 2 of the show. We certainly appreciate you guys. Go check us out at rumble.com. We love our KLFY Plus viewing audience as well. Shout out to you guys, all our streaming services, and from the mothership, KPEL here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, guys, if you hadn't checked them out by now, man, look, if you're looking for a dealership that really puts their customers first, go check out Giles Subaru over in Lafayette. Make it your next stop. At Giles Subaru, remember, customer service, not just a promise, it's how they do business every single day. From the moment you walk in, their team is focused on making your experience, I love this, easy, comfortable, and completely stress-free. I've sat through the whole process, and it's not painful. You know, you've gone through some car purchases before. You know, you can kind of do the whole game going back. Straightforward. What do you need? Let's see. Let's go find it. But here's something you won't find in every dealership for sure, and that's a on-site dog park. How cool is that?
With a wash station.
I keep forgetting to say that.
Like, that's the part. The dog park is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The fact they have a wash station so that way if the dogs get dirty, they don't have to get in your car dirty is the coolest thing to me.
Which makes sense if you know Bob Giles, because he is like, when they get their car back, even if they come for an oil change, I want them to get the car back better than when they found it. So, of course, he would put a dog washing station. I think you might get more excited if you go use his dog park than to buy a Subaru. But I do encourage you to go check out the floor, go check out the Giles Subaru options, because if it's not on campus, they will work with you to go get whatever you need. So, and they're pretty quick as well. I guess that's when you're in the business that long, you know, you build your relationships and are able to have more efficiency. So, hey, go check out Giles Subaru off of Johnson Street right here in Lafayette, Louisiana, and tell Bob we said hey. And on that location, I know they have a printout of Bob with the Time Magazine Man of the Year. Please go take a picture with it. So I'm not the only one. All right. So let's move on, shall we, Q? You think we talked about that enough? I think we did too. But you had we were talking about tops, and you had you shared it with the Rumble folks. You had an interesting experience and take on textbooks. I said that word, and all of a sudden I saw some lightning happening above your head. Some lightning.
It's the fact that the textbook companies now require you to buy a code because they've sold the universities this idea, hey, use our software for homework and at-home assignments. Well, here's the cool thing for the textbook company. All of a sudden, used books, you can't really use them because you need the code. Oh, you're going to buy a used book? It's $100. That's cool. The code's $125.
And it's digital.
So
they don't even have
a physical copy.
And they don't have the overhead.
No. So
I always said I wanted to write a textbook because I thought the win there was you just do second edition, third edition,
right.
Fourth edition.
Oh no! Now you don't even have to have editions. You just have software.
It's a pocket book.
So and
electronically,
the university wins because they don't have to support additional software. The textbook company wins because they're selling way more textbooks. The only person that loses is the person who has to now buy the textbook.
The fixed income college kid.
Yeah, it's like let's put the burden on them.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, man, let's go to this one, dude. Okay, so we're going national.
We're going national.
We're going national. Let's go national. All right. So the Senate already passed a bill, as you know. Remember the whole funding thing? The House of Representatives, Speaker Johnson did a wonderful job and passed the right bill, which funded the entire Department of Homeland Security to include ICE, to include Border Protection Services. Way to go. It goes over to the Senate. By the way, we have a majority in the Senate as well, but somehow we passed the Democrat version and send that to the House and basically say, y'all fix it and send it back. Well, they're like, no, because we already fixed it. We already passed what you're telling us to fix. And they go on vacation. So anyway, all right, so that's where things stand, kind of right now. But we have some updates here, okay? So again, it's you can't explain how we got here. I don't understand that. But now the Senate is saying they will use budget reconciliation. Simple majority, no Democrat leverage, fund ICE, fund Border Patrol directly. But that's been the plan. We've been saying that for weeks now. Senator Kennedy, he's been saying that for weeks now. A lot of people have been saying that. As soon as the House sent it over to you, Senate, that was the time to do budget reconciliation or call for budget reconciliation. But the Senate, we'll vent that out. I might have a few more words on that. You may have a few more thoughts on that. But man, the Senate finally took the first real step in that direction, okay? They passed a budget resolution. It unlocked reconciliation, and the goal then would be to pass the House's bill, maybe tweak it a little bit. I don't know why they would, because that would do something else. But the goal there is to fund ICE Border Patrol for the next few years, not the next few days. So that's what just happened. So there's some movement. It's not the final bill. We have to remember that. Not the final bill, but the first step. So they passed the resolution. They unlocked reconciliation. Here we are. But I know there's a lot of folks sitting in the car right now, driving or at their office or whatever, doing like the new trend, Q, putting up the show at 3 o'clock in your waiting room on Rumble.
Yep.
I appreciate it. But look, a lot of folks are thinking like, hey, this is great, but what took so long? And that's exactly where people are at. Because, I mean, we can keep it real. It's not like this was some complicated mystery. It like we're treating this like it was some kind of like inventing the Pythagorean theorem or something. This is so easy. The path was sitting right there the entire time. Democrats weren't going to fund ICE without trying it with tying it up with restrictions. You know that. Fine. That's okay. That's okay. Then go around them. That's what reconciliation is for. And now they're doing it. Good. Want to applaud the good behavior. It's needed. Long overdue. Now, here's the part we have to remember, though, okay? And we really, really don't let these guys lose sight, okay? Because it's kind of up to us. This only works if they finish it. Everybody got all excited. You know, the House passed it. The Senate passes the Democrat bill and then leaves.
Yeah.
So now they passed the resolution, but I got to be honest with you. Until I see the bill dropped on Capitol Hill signed, sorry. Good, you passed the resolution to open reconciliation. That is needed. That was needed when the House sent you the dang thing the first time. Y'all just been sitting on that. And what progress do you have? Well, we did pass the Democrats' bill in the meantime. Well, but did they? Boy, anywho. So this only works, guys. I'm telling you, we got to finish it. You know, the budget resolution is, I would look at that as the green light. You can now press the gas pedal. You're okay. But the actual funding bill still has to get written. Should have had that. Passed, signed. We know it'll be signed by the president. But that's where the pressure is now. That's where the pressure is now. All right, guys, we'll keep on this topic and so much more when we get back. Don't touch that dial. We're going to have some fun. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, man. Shout out to my friends over there at Stan's Auto, 2 locations, one in New Iberia, one in Johnson Street, right by the old J.P. Thibodeau near Admiral Doyle in New Iberia, and then in Lafayette, right off of Johnson Street, Ducey Road near Reds, man. This is a great, great organization. If you need any automobile needs, go check out my friends over there at Stan's Auto. Hey, I got my dear friend in here, Jim Crumling. What's up, Jim?
Oh, a lot of stuff.
That's a loaded
Keeping
question.
Me busy, baby.
Q, loaded question.
Never
don't
a
you
dull moment.
Hey, look, I appreciate you, Jim. You know, over the years, I mean, we've known each other for a while now, about going on 10 years.
Sure have.
And you even when you disagreed with me, you'd fuss me with love, and you know, we'd hash it out. But look, a lot of folks don't understand or don't realize how involved you are throughout our state. But you have a group called Acadiana Patriots, and I think that's what you want to talk about.
Right.
Tell the folks about it. Look, really, where's the meeting? How can they get there?
Well,
but you have some stuff y'all are talking about the next meeting.
We hooked up this time. The Acadiana Patriots meeting is hosted in partnership with a tremendous group, Save My Louisiana. And that's on Tuesday, April 28th from
That's this Tuesday.
6:30 to 8. This Tuesday.
All right.
Coming up. 6:30 to 8:30. Now, it's at Girard Park Gymnasium, not our usual place because Como's under renovation. And that's 500 Girard Park Drive. And if you need more information, you can call 337-654-2805. You don't want to miss this meeting.
Tell us about it.
telling you, I got 3 speakers coming and 1 sitting in the audience. You need to stay informed on critical issues impacting our state. Trust me. Protect private property rights. Defend our natural resources. Demand transparency from leadership.
Well.
And Save My Louisiana is informed, empowered, and protect. Public safety, property rights, government accountability. This group has been able to get 16 parishes in central and northwest Louisiana to get resolutions, no CCS. Ooh. The other thing that I want to mention is the biggest issue right now is eminent domain. They can come and take your property and you got no backup. And I will say this, I'm very disappointed in some Republicans in Baton Rouge who have voted 2 years in a row not to protect you and I. And you know how I get when that is the deal.
Jim, real quick, CCS, you're talking about carbon capture?
Carbon capture and sequestration.
And specifically eminent domain on carbon capture.
Right.
And this is and I want to clarify because that's a very limited scope, and you've gotten some pushback on that. And like you said, hold on, we don't even know the science behind this, a lot of us.
I had an oil company call me, and they asked me what my solution was, and I really ticked them off. And I said, plant more trees.
Hey, I think we can all wrap around.
You know what
Come
happened?
on.
He hung up. What I'm saying is that Mark Guillory, who's a retired Air Force colonel, is going to speak, and he's a member of that group. He has filed a lawsuit against the state because we found a statute. He did. He found a statute in the Constitution for the state that makes it illegal to do all this. So we're working on that.
So you got the Colonel Guillory, great last name. He elevates it. I try not to bring it down too bad.
I got Gary Musgrove, a down to earth, real good guy. He's the president, and then a guy named Robert Boo Maddox. He's a member, and he designed my thing.
All right.
I'm telling you, here's the thing from my heart. Come on Tuesday night. You will not regret it because I also have someone sitting in the audience that can back up anything that needs to be backed up.
I have no doubt. Look, I know we're coming up on a hard break here. Guys, go check them out, Acadiana Patriots. It's not going to be in the regular Como Rec Center location. It's going to be at the Girard Park location. Very easy. They got parking over there. Yeah, there we go. And we'll see if we can put that flyer up as well on rumble.com so you can check it out. But go look. It's a good meeting. You're going to meet really, really good folks, keeping it real, keeping it honest. Acadiana Patriots, Tuesday at what time?
At 6:30. The
6:30.
doors open at 6.
Doors open at 6. Go visit with everybody before the presentation, and I know you won't want to miss it. All right, guys. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome. I'm ready.
Oh, I know
Next
you are.
week.
Give me some. Appreciate you guys. Stick around. We'll be right back. We got some heat. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Man, we are broadcasting live from rumble.com. Let me go see you over there at that chat on rumble.com. Shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience and, of course, our KPEL audience. Actually, Q, let's go to Kansas. Let's go to Kansas, shall we? We ain't in Toto. No, we ain't in Kansas no more, Toto. Oh, we had a caller there waiting patiently. Guys, we have the phone lines open, 232-1542. Give us a shout. 844-766-6607 on this wonderful Friday afternoon. All right, guys. Kansas. All right, I'm going to break it down. Green card holder, not a U.S. citizen, served as mayor, cast ballots in U.S. elections. That all happened, okay? I'm just throwing out the facts. Q's over there shaking his head about to scream.
Yes.
And it's wild, I know. But that actually that happened. And it didn't happen overnight. It kind of like went on and on and on. But here's the part that sticks. And nobody here needs a civics lesson. I think we all know the rules, all right? But voting in federal elections is tied to citizenship. The whole SAVE Act was just to make sure that you show an ID to show that you're a citizen, which is smart, which is common sense. But voting is tied to citizenship. He has voted in several federal elections. And that's the line. Voting, citizenship. Citizenship required to vote in federal elections. That's the line. So when the line gets crossed, the reaction, maybe folks don't go to outrage at first. I think it's something else. I think it's more pause. Like, hold on, because that's pretty egregious. Like, we've all voted, most of us, if not all of us. You know, when you go in, you got certain things you got to do. You got to be on the voter rolls. So how is this guy even on the voter rolls? You know what I mean? So anyway. So yeah, I think people kind of like sit back and like, wait a minute, how did that even get that far? You know?
How can you hold elected office and not be a U.S. citizen? That's mind-blowing to me.
You know, I thought about that too, but I was thinking, well, it's a city, it's a mayor. Maybe they don't have that requirement. It's not required federally, not that I know of. But it is a requirement that you vote in federal elections. You got to be a U.S. citizen. Now that we know, that we do know. But that's a good point. Maybe from a practical standpoint, we can ask the electorate at that jurisdiction, why did you elect a non-citizen as your mayor?
That's a good point.
But they did. They could come back and say, because we did. Leave me alone. Okay. But why is he voting? And can he vote for himself? Well, it's a local election, maybe. I don't know. All right, but all of this, though, with being registered to vote, being able to vote in a federal election multiple times, was all done out in the open. He wasn't hiding in shadows or anything like this. I mean, serving in office, participating in election, moving through the system like everything was normal. That tells us a lot. Systems don't fail in dramatic ways most of the time. Most of the time. Slow bleed. Slow bleed. They fail quietly. One unchecked box, one missed verification, one assumption that somebody already checked. That's why you can't trust government. It's not that everybody's bad in government. It's just this kind of stuff. Really, you don't check the right box. The bureaucratic machine goes somewhere else. Like, oh, no. But that's how the gap happens. And most people don't care about the noise around elections. They care about the basics. You know, is it a clean election? Is it a fair election? Is it enforced the same way across the board? That's what folks are thinking. That's reality. That's common sense. So, but I'm getting a hand and arm signal. Is this the segment we're going all the way through? Fantastic, Q. I love how you did that. This is live action. But that's it, though, you know. Fair. Across the board, treated equally, treated the same. When those basics feel solid, everything, what does it do? It settles down. Get kind of calm. That's good. When they don't, the temperature rises for good reason. That's why I was a little upset after the 2020 election that the Supreme Court didn't take the case. It's their prerogative. I just think that there was questions that could have been answered, and now we just don't know. I do think that there should have been a hearing on why did that lady with the box, in one of those states, was it Georgia or somewhere, was underneath the table, and she literally, it was showing video her walking out with ballots, and there's a gap. There's no, that would have been a good thing to have at the district court level just to get the facts. At district court level, the judge or the court or the jury is the fact finder. So they find the facts. Literally, that's what it's called. So, and you got to have the facts right before you apply the law. So we're left kind of with not having the facts. Now, you can also say about the president then under his first term, you could say, well, why didn't you push it? Why didn't you bring the evidence to make your claim and prove your claim? I just don't think he was given the opportunity. I could be totally wrong on that procedurally, but I don't think there was a real opportunity to present that type of evidence. Again, I could be wrong. I just think as the public, we would like those questions answered. I'm not calling to redo the election. I mean, we're where we're at, and that's the reality. But to avoid it in the future, can we at least talk about it? Can we at least, I don't know, just bring up no one's getting in trouble. We just want to fix the problem. Give everybody amnesty just to fix the problem. Just to fix that problem. I know people are like, amnesty, baloney. Nothing's going to happen. So we might as well learn from it and move on. But can we? Can we talk about it? Because I'd love to know. And maybe it's all legit. Oh, we have this other camera that shows exactly where she went. Well, show it. Restore the trust in the process, because the trust is gone. And that's why, during COVID, all these mail-in ballots and all that stuff, man, it just, the system, the trust in our election process was so diminished when you see these pictures and videos and imagery of these ballot boxes where you drop them off in some of these big cities and the ballots are all hanging out over, no accountability. And that diminished some trust. Now, we didn't do that in 2024, not to that degree. That's good. I think they would be laughed out of office. Now they're just out of office, which is, good for us if we think about it. But man, all of this, all of that trust diminished the process. And that's why, like people in office right now, you got a great opportunity to restore trust, Stop being motivated politically. Stop trying to get good, easy wins politically. You saw what they did to President Trump with the judiciary. You saw what they did with the lawfare. You saw Fannie Willis and how that operation was handled in Atlanta. I still think the most egregious one is in New York when they stretched that felony. They didn't have it the misdemeanor, but they missed that. Even if they could have proven it, they missed that. And then the type of crime that they tagged him with was so bizarre. You forum shopped. You forum shopped like there's nobody's business. And then it kind of just went away. And then you had even Jack Smith over there who, as an officer of the court, you signed off on it, that you had the evidence, that you could have prosecuted and convicted, that it wasn't frivolous. And then Trump gets elected and then you withdraw like that. What? Is it because you weren't properly appointed in the first place? Was this not really going anywhere anyway? It's just, it's bizarre. And when you're at the national level, you start getting these ideas at the state level and the local level across our country on how can they abuse their power too for political gains. And that's a trend that can change though, man. So look, everybody, as we're wrapping up this segment, look, everybody pray for our country, pray for the elected officials. We're called to do that. Even if you didn't vote for them, even if you think they're shady as all get out, pray for them. That's the folks you pray for the most. Let God touch them. But look, I still think we got some bright days ahead of us. I think we're in the middle of a purging. I don't want everybody to be sad and depressed. And if you're in Lafayette, go check out the festival. All right, that's I ended on a positive. Yeah. Right? Hey, look, we got a special segment coming up with my boy Bob Giles. Stick around, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. Be right back.